Hello everyone, this is Shrutika, CR Shalyatantra Department, presenting topic examination of ulcer. So we'll elaborate this topic under following contents as what is ulcer, parts of ulcer, classification of ulcer, examination of ulcer, with the help of history, physical examination, local examination, lymph node examination, general examination and differential diagnosis. Then we'll go for investigation, some rare ulcers and treatment. Now we'll see the definition of ulcer. Ulcer is nothing but break in a continuity of covering epithelium or discontinuity of the skin or the mucous membrane which occurs due to microscopic death of the tissues. This picture elaborate in detail about the exact location and markings of parts of the ulcer. Now we'll start with parts of ulcer. There are major 4 parts of ulcer: margin, edge, floor and base. Margin. So margin is the junction between normal epithelium and ulcer. It again is divided into 4 types: irregular, regular, rounded and oval. Edge. Edge is an area between margin and floor of ulcer. It again divided into 5 types: sloping edge, punch out edge, undetermined edge, raised and bedded edge, and everted and rolled edge. The next one is floor. It is an exposed surface of the ulcer which contain granulation tissue, or in untidy it contains slough, or we can say a pus discharge. Now the next one is on base. It is one where the rest of ulcer is raised. So we'll start with the classification of ulcer. It divided in 2 types, in clinical classification and in pathological classification. We'll start with a clinical one first. It includes spreading ulcer, healing ulcer and callus ulcer or chronic ulcer. Spreading ulcer. In this condition, edge is inflamed. Edge of ulcer is inflamed and edematous. The floor is covered with a slough or a pus discharge. This condition is painful. The next one is an healing ulcer. In this condition, edge is sloping in nature. Healthy pink red granulation with or without serous discharge is here in this condition. The next one is an callus ulcer or chronic ulcer. In this condition, floor contain pale unhealthy granulation tissue. Ulcer has no tendency to heal, lasts for many months to year, and the important part, in this condition the floor is indurated. Now the pathological classification of ulcer. Firstly, we'll go with specific ulcers, which include tuberculous ulcer, syphilitic ulcer, actinomycosis or Melanese ulcer, and the next categories of malignant ulcers, which include carcinomatous ulcer, melanotic ulcer or rodent ulcer. We'll elaborate these points in further slides. Now we'll see non-specific ulcers. It again subdivided in various forms. First is traumatic ulcer, which includes mechanical ulcer, for example dental ulcers, or physical ulcer, for example electric burn, and chemical ulcer, for example ulcer formed due to any strong acid. Then next one is an arterial ulcer, which include atherosclerosis or a TAO, that is a thromboangiitis obliterans. Then the next one is venous ulcer. It includes gravitational ulcers or post-phlebitic ulcer. The next one is trophic ulcer, which include bed sore or perforating ulcer in sole. The next one is an infective ulcer, that is pyogenic ulcer. Then cryopathic ulcer, which for example frostbite. Then the Bazin's ulcer, erythrocyanoid ulcers, then diabetic ulcer, and last one is cortical ulcer. Cortisol ulcer is nothing but a long time application of steroid cream leads to a formation of ulcer for particular area, or it also includes ulcer due to leukemia, jaundice, polycythemia or collagen disease. Now we'll see Wagner's grading. It actually limited for examination or to finding out the exact grade or category of foot ulcers. Now we'll start with grade 1. It includes pre-ulcerative lesions. Grade 2, superficial ulcer. Grade 3, ulcers deeper to subcutaneous tissue or which exposing bone. Grade 4, gangrene of a part of tissue or limb or foot. And grade 5, gangrene of entire one area or foot. So we'll start with examination of ulcer. Firstly, we'll start with an history. Ask the patient about his occupation. In venous ulcer, occupation is required long hours of standing. Then present illness, mode of onset and progressions, duration. Long duration mostly leads to the chronic venous ulcer, or short duration seen in acute ulcer after trauma or cellulitis. Then pain, time of onset, progress and severity. Painful ulcers are mostly after trauma, and painless ulcers are seen in tropic condition, syphilitic ulcers, spinal injuries, peripheral neuropathy and tuberculosis ulcer. Then we'll go with general examination, which include presence of anemia, edema, jaundice, clubbing, lymphadenopathy, raised temperature, assessment of subcutaneous fat, weight, volume of radial pulse and blood pressure. Now we'll start with local examination, which includes inspection. Site of ulcer must be noted, size and shape of ulcer must be noted, number of ulcer, position of ulcer, age of ulcer, floor, discharge and surrounding area of ulcer. Now we'll continue with inspection. Site of ulcer. In this condition, exact anatomical location is noted. For example, venous ulcer, it occurs over malleoli around ankle. Lupus vulgaris, it occurs at face, finger and hand. Basal cell carcinomatous ulcer, it mostly seen at inner canthus of the eye. Tubercular ulcer, it mostly seen on neck, axilla, chest and groin region. Syphilitic or rheumatous ulcer is mostly seen on tibia, sternum, palate or skull. Then trophic ulcer is mostly seen on sole of a foot and heel. Malignant ulcer is mostly of skin, and Melanese ulcer is mostly seen on perineum, groin, lower abdominal wall. Then we'll see size of ulcer. It is measured by a measuring tape by placing a sterile gauze pad on an ulcer. Size can be measured by wound measuring guide tools. These are some tools as shown in a picture, which helpful to calculate the exact size and dimensions of the ulcer. Now we'll start with shape of ulcer. Ulcer of different causes have different shape. For example, venous ulcer always have a vertically oval shape. Tuberculous ulcer have a circular in shape. Malignant ulcer is irregular in shape, while syphilitic ulcer is circular or semicircular in shape. Then we'll start with numbers. Malignant ulcers are solitary, while venous ulcer or tubercular ulcer are always multiple in nature. Now we'll start with discharge from ulcer. Discharge can be serum, pus or blood. Serous discharge is mostly seen in healing ulcer. Purulent discharge is mostly seen in infected ulcer. Yellowish and creamy discharge is seen in staphylococci infections. Blood and opalescent discharge is seen in streptococci infection. Greenish color discharge is seen in pseudomonas infection. Bloody discharge is again seen in malignant and healing ulcer conditions. Serous with sulfur granulous discharge is seen in actinomycosis, or yellowish discharge is seen in a tuberculous condition. Now we'll see ages of ulcer. First, sloping age. It is seen in healing ulcer, which shows three parts. Inner part, which is healthy and having granulation tissue. Then the middle part having a scar or the fibrous tissue, and the outer part is a blue due to epithelial proliferation. Then the next one is punch out edges. It runs perpendicular to skin margin which is seen in trophic ulcer and gummatous ulcer as shown in a figure. Then the next one is raised and bedded edge, which is purely white in color. It is seen in rodent ulcer. As you see in a picture, it shows a common site of rodent ulcer. Then the next one is everted edge or rollout edge. It spills proliferating malignant tissue over normal skin. It is seen in carcinomatous conditions. Then we'll see floor of ulcer. It is the exposed surface of ulcer. Red granulation tissue of the floor is seen in healing ulcer. Pale and smooth tissue is seen in slow growing ulcer, and washed leather floor is seen in gummatous ulcer. Black tissue at the floor is seen in malignant melanoma, or the floor reaching up to the bone, mostly seen in trophic ulcer. Now we'll start with palpation of ulcer. We must elucidate tenderness. Acute inflamed ulcer is always tender. Chronic ulcer or tuberculous ulcer, syphilitic ulcers are slightly tender, while varicose ulcers may or may not be tender. In neoplastic condition or neoplastic ulcers are never tender. Now palpation of base of induration. So base, it is one on which the ulcer is lies. Base may be fascia or soft tissue or bone. Malignant ulcers, base is vascular and friable. Chronic ulcers shows a slight induration. Marked induration is seen in squamous cell carcinoma or Hunterian gangrene. Depth is measured in millimeters. Trophic ulcer is as deep as to reach even to the bone. Bleeding, it is present on palpation and touching. Now we'll see relation to deeper structures. In gummatous ulcer, it is fixed over underlying bone, while in malignant ulcer, it is fixed over the underlying tissue. Now we'll see about pulsation. We always look for dorsalis pedis artery, anterior tibial artery, posterior tibial artery, popliteal artery, and femoral artery, and obviously it depends on the side of ulcer. Now we'll see lymph node examinations. Regional lymph node are enlarged and tender in acute inflamed ulcer or tubercular ulcer, while stony hard and fixed to neighboring structures is mostly seen in malignant ulcer. Node is not involved in rodent ulcer or in gummatous ulcer because there is an early obliteration of the lymphatics by neoplastic cells. Node become discrete and firm and shorty in Hunterian gangrene. Now we'll start with investigations. Investigations mostly include TLC, which is increase in acute infection. Then DLC, that is differential leukocyte count. Lymphocytes are increased in chronic infections. HB, decreased hemoglobin may be suggestive of trophic ulcer. ESR, it is increase in acute and chronic infection. BSL, to exclude diabetes mellitus. Urine, to exclude presence of sugar. Now we'll focus on specific examinations. Study of discharge, that is culture and sensitivity, or AFB study, cytology. Then age biopsy. Age biopsy is taken from age because it contains multiplying cell consist surrounding healthy tissue. It helps to identify the type of tumor or invasiveness. Then the next is X-ray. X-ray of a particular part to see periostitis or osteomyelitis. Then the FNAC of regional lymph node. Other tests like Montauk's test used to diagnose tubercular ulcer in children and to exclude tubercular ulcer in adult. Then the next is contrast radiography or arteriography or phlebography, which helps to diagnose arterial and ischemic ulcer and in DVT. Imaging technique, radioactive fibrinogen test using 125 labeled fibrinogen to diagnose DVT. Then the technetium 99 is more used isotope to take a arterial imaging with a gamma camera. It is used to know the blood flow of calf muscle. Then we'll start with differential diagnosis. Traumatic ulcer. It majorly shows three reasons, that is mechanical region, physical or chemical trauma. As we see before, mechanical region is seen in a dental trauma of the tongue or caused by jagged tooth. Physical is mostly seen in burn or X-ray radiation. Then the chemical trauma is caused by strong acid or base. Then the ischemic ulcer or arterial ulcer cause is a poor peripheral circulation or peripheral arterial diseases, for example atherosclerosis. It complains of pain and intermittent claudication. Site is mostly anterior and outer aspect of leg or dorsum of foot part which is exposed to trauma. Then edges of the ulcer is punch out edges. Floor is minimal granulation tissue, tendon, bone may be exposed, and the pulsation is either absent or feeble. Mostly it shows a relation with a dorsalis pedis artery. Now the venous ulcer, mostly seen in older age. Ulcer can occur as complication of DVT. It shows complaints of pain in initial stage only. Site is mostly above medial malleolus, middle aspect of lower one third of lower limb. Then the shape is vertically oval in shape as we see before. Edges mostly sloping edge. Floor thick granulation tissue with slightly oozing of serous discharge. Then trophic ulcer or neurogenic ulcer. History of diabetes mellitus or neurological disorders, causes spinal nerve injury, leprosy or diabetic neuropathy. Complaint of pain is absent. Then loss of sensation is present. Then site is mostly heel and ball of the foot. Edges are punch out and deep. Floors, it consists tendon and bone exposes with foul smelling. Then base is slightly indurated. Now the next one is a diabetic ulcer. Obviously history of diabetes mellitus is present. It is spreading in nature. Three main causes: diabetic neuropathy, diabetic vasculopathy, and glucose laden cells vulnerable to infection. Then the next one is tuberculous ulcer. The common site is neck, axilla and groin. Complaints of slightly painful. Edges are thin reddish blue and undetermined edges. Floor, it contains pale granulation tissue. Discharge is serosanguineous discharge. Base is slightly indurated. It indicates a chronic ulcer stage. Then the tenderness is slightly tender. Lymph nodes are enlarged, matted and slight tender. Then the next is lupus vulgaris. They are not deep and start as superficial nodules and convert into ulceration of skin. It mostly seen in children and young adults. Common sites are face, hand and finger. Then the next is syphilitic ulcers. The primary stage is hard cankry form after 3 to 4 weeks of infection. The site is mostly on coronal sulcus or frenum of penis. Base is indurated and feel like a button. Lymph node enlarged, hard, discrete, painless and movable. Discharge study identify Treponema pallidum, which is a causative factor. Then we'll continue with secondary stage. It consists of mucus patches, small round superficial patches. Site is mucous membrane of mouth. Then the next one is condyloma lata. It is small round raised flat edges. Then the site is found in mucocutaneous junction, that is angle of mouth, and vulva and anal region. Then painless enlargement of lymph nodes, and features show iritis, arthritis and alopecia. The third stage is gummatous ulcer. Punch out edges are here. Floor, it's wash leather slough, which is yellowish grey gummatous tissue. Site is mostly tibia, sternum and skull. Kahn's test is positive. It is an flocculation test which is used in serum diagnosis of syphilis. In this case, cankri is first cleaned with saline. Serous discharge from the cankri is taken out with a platinum loop and placed on a slide is seen under microscope. Now we'll see a soft sore. Incubation period is 3 to 4 days. It is always multiple and painful. Edges are edematous. Floor shows yellowish slough. Site is mostly external genitalia. Soft swelling in inguinal region, that is bubo. Then the next one is Béziens ulcer. It is seen in adolescent girls. Causes are poor arterial supply or abnormal subacute fat with thick ankle. Clinical features are low-grade ischemia of whole ankle region. In cold temperature, ankle is blue and cold or tender. In hot temperature, hyperemia of ankle or edematous or swollen condition is seen. It is painful. Site is always a calf muscle which shows a small and multiple nodules. Now we'll see hypertensive ulcers. It is mostly seen in old age associated with atherosclerosis or severe pain. Site is mostly on lower extremities. Then we'll start with Melanese ulcer. It is seen in post-operative wounds, rarely on dorsum of hand and on leg. In this condition, floor is abundant, foul-smelling granulation tissue. Then the discharge is always seropurulent. Then the next is yaws. The causative organism is Treponema pertuni. It is mostly seen in a person who walk on a barefoot, spread through abrasions on skin or foot. Then it heals within a few weeks or it is painless. Then the last one is Marjolin's ulcer. This is squamous cell carcinoma. It arises from a long-standing benign ulcer or a scar, for example venous ulcer. Scar of an old burn which shows malignant changes. It is nothing but malignant squamous carcinoma. In this condition, age is not always raised and everted. Nodules are developed as carcinoma. It is painless and avascular condition. There is extensive fibrosis. Then we'll start with the treatment of ulcer. Cause should be found and treated. Correction of patient anemia. Deficiencies like protein and vitamins should be corrected. Blood transfusion if required should be done. Rest, immobilization, elevation and avoidance of trauma. Ulcer cleaning and dressing. Ulcer cleaning and dressing is done by two methods, that is mechanically or chemically. Mechanically, it is done using scissors by excising the slough or hydrogen peroxide, which releases the nascent oxygen, is used as a chemical agent. Acryflavine is antiseptic and irritant, and so deslough the area and promotes granulation tissue formation. Then use salt, that is Edinburgh University solution, which contains sodium hypochlorite, releases nascent chlorine, which form a water soluble complex with slough to dissolve it. If maggots present in the wound will cause a crawling sensation and are removed using turpentine solution. Ulcer cleaning and dressing is done daily or twice daily and once in 2 to 3 days depending on the type of ulcer and type of dressing used. Normal saline is ideally used for ulcer cleaning. Various dressings are available like film, hydrogel, hydroactives, foams, etc. Vacuum assisted closure, that is VAC therapy. It is done by creation of negative pressure, that is 25 to 200 mmHg, continuous or intermittent over the wound surface. It causes reduced fluid in the interstitial space, reduce edema, increase the cell proliferation and protein matrix synthesis, which promotes formation of healthy granulation tissue. Then the surgical treatment, it includes debridement or slumpectomy, skin grafting, flaps and limb amputation.